Hi there. I take it you're watching this video not because you wanted to, but because you ended up getting a really bad haircut recently. And yeah, I hear you. I know it hits really hard. For some people, it's not a big deal, and hair isn't something that they focus on. But for other people, not only do you get your hair cut, it also chops your confidence with it. So I wanted to make this video for all those people that are sitting there and internally screaming when the hairdresser turns their chair around, for all those people that are kind of holding back tears or sobbing on the way home from the hair salon. This video I made specifically for you, and it kind of goes off of my own experience that's kind of inspired me to make this video and share some of the tips on how I got through the worst haircut of my life. So hi, my name is Veronica. I am a therapist in the state of Maryland and Pennsylvania, and I made this channel to kind of go over some helpful tips and tricks, motivational content, mental health stuff here and there, and some how-to videos as well. So if any of that interests you, please remember to like and follow and hit the notification bell to be up to date on more content that I'll be posting in the future. This is a new channel, so I'm hopeful that some of this stuff can be useful to you as well. So I first want to start off by saying that I'm so sorry that you're going through this right now. I'm sorry you didn't get what you wanted and that you're not feeling as confident as you were hoping to at the end of getting your hair done. I know it's a frustrating thing, and a lot of times we might feel unheard or just filled with that instant regret of, I wish I'd never done this. And all of those feelings might be coming up for you right now, and I want you to know that that's normal, and a whole range of other things can come up with it too. But at the end of the day, I want you to know that you are beautiful regardless of what you look like right now. Your hair does not define who you are, and you are still a beautiful person regardless of what you look like, and you're still you at the end of the day. So a little disclaimer that not a lot of people talk about is that first few days to 1 to 2 weeks afterwards usually hits the hardest because it's not what you wanted, and it tends to really hit how you carry yourself. And so if you're feeling like a little bit of grief through this process of like wishing that it was a different way, like that's okay. And at the end of the day, it gets easier as time goes on, and let's face it, hair does grow and come back, but this is a process that it takes a little bit of time to get used to. It takes a little bit of time to get used to is the only thing I could say. You're not going to be used to it. You're not going to like it, but you'll at least tolerate it a little bit better compared to the first 3 or 4 days. So I just want to throw that out there. It does get better. It's still not going to be what you want it to be, but you'll feel better as time goes on. So I want to share a little bit about my experience for some context. Earlier this year, about January 2025, I was going through a lot of health stuff at the time, and I just wanted to feel more confident. And although I didn't have a lot of control over my health stuff going on, I just wanted to feel better physically than what I did. A lot of chronic pain stuff. So I made the appointment with a hairdresser. I was super excited, really looking forward to it. I had the inspiration pictures picked out. I knew what I wanted. Just wanted it long enough where I could put it up in a ponytail, but like shorter than what I had it, with some choppy like dimensions or something to it. And so I showed my pictures. I had a conversation with my stylist. We had a game plan, and I sat down, and within like seconds I realized that they had chopped like my hair. And when I mean chopped, like it was probably to here. I'll show you some photos, but I was just like internally screaming in the chair of like, oh my God, I think she went too short. So I'm sitting there, and I was just kind of filled with regret and internally screaming and crying of just like, damn, I wish this wasn't happening. And I was sitting there just saying, trust the process. So I didn't say anything, went through the whole appointment from start to finish. They were like, oh, do you like it? And I was just like, mm-hmm. And I ended up going into my car and just kind of tearing up a little bit. So if I could go back in time, I would have definitely said something a lot sooner, because no one can fix it from me crying in my car. Basically, the sooner you say something, the sooner something can be done about it. So if I could go back in time, I would have said something like, hey, I appreciate your work, but it's not really what I had in mind. Is there any way that we can pivot or try something different, or can we make this small change? You can share how you feel and be honest. And it's not necessarily rude that you're just telling them that it's not what your pictures looked like, or it's not what you had in mind, and work from like collaboratively with them to get it to be closer to what you want it to be. At the end of the day, it's not being rude if you're just simply saying that this is not what you wanted. And that's just you being honest and self-advocating for you, because you're paying for a service. If you went into a restaurant and you asked for a meal and they brought out something completely different, you would politely say, hey, this isn't what I ordered. And they would try to fix it the best they can. So view it like that. You're paying for a service and you're getting your need heard. And this gives them the opportunity to fix it. Also, I think it's important to be real with you guys for a second. Your stylist is human. No matter what we're talking about, people make mistakes, and it's not that they intentionally meant for you to have a bad haircut or they did it on purpose. Sometimes these things just happen, and a lot of them are really willing to make the effort to attempt to fix it or come up with a grow out plan of what the next steps can be. And so the sooner you can mention that there's something that you want a fix, or as soon as you can mention that this is not what you were going for, the better it is. For me, I ended up sending like a text message of saying like, hey, I really appreciate the work that you did. I washed it and it just was not what I had in mind based off of the photos that I sent you. And I couldn't tie it up. What I wanted was gone, and I don't know if it's fixable or not, but I wanted to hear your thoughts and what we might be able to do. And thankfully, my stylist was very supportive. She was apologetic, and she actually was like, hey, how can we fix it? And not everyone is going to be like that. I recognize that. If your stylist is not like that, that's not someone you're going to want to work with. And so you should feel able to explain your feelings and explain what you want to someone and have that be respected. Even if it's not what they want to hear, they should still be able to hold that space of like, okay, where are we going to go from here? So is something that I thought was worth sharing. So yeah, thankfully my stylist was super accommodating and willing to help kind of make a grow out plan and fix a few things. So I appreciated that. What I did to cope through this entire process, because mine was too short, there was literally nothing that could be done, and the only thing that was going to fix it was time itself. So what I did was I cried. I allowed myself to kind of process my feelings and honored myself in the way where it's like, hey, if I needed a moment, I took a moment. I sat down and tried to work with it, put my hair in different positions to see if there was something that I liked better than others. I gelled it back, and I found something that I could tolerate. Didn't like it, didn't love it, didn't think it was cute, but I found something enough where I could just be like, meh. I avoided mirrors for a little bit. And instead of focusing on what I looked like, I focused on how I wanted people to experience me. I wanted people to feel like I was that fun and outgoing person. And the less that I focused on my hair and the more I focused on how I wanted people to feel around me, the easier it was for me not to think about my hair as much. I focused on the other parts of myself that I like. So I was like, all right, you know what? If I'm not liking my hair, let me focus on my clothes. Let me throw my earrings on or do my makeup so that like it was a little pick me up. If you really hate your hair, you can look online. They have some cheap wigs on Amazon. And I kind of just sat with reminding myself, well, at least I'm finding the silver linings and the little things. Like I'm using less shampoo, my showers are quicker, my hair dries faster. I tried to stay optimistic even though like I really hated my haircut. And I ended up going on YouTube and searching up bad haircuts. first looking for advice, but then I found that like looking at other people's bad haircuts made me feel less alone, and I was able to kind of laugh at myself and laugh with other people that were going through it. So it made me feel a lot better looking at, like, even though my haircut was bad, it wasn't as bad as somebody else's. So that's just me being me. Sometimes you got to honor what feels best for you. If that's something that helps, right on. If not, then find something that feels good with you. It made me realize that, like, I was not alone in my experience. I called a best friend too, and she told me straight that everyone usually gets one bad haircut in their life. And now that I got it, I don't have to worry about it anymore. So at one point, I actually coped with humor a little bit more and started going around asking people, like, who do I look like? And this I don't recommend everyone do, because sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry. But for me, I thought it was funny and it helped me through it. Don't recommend it if you really don't want the answers, because people be hitting hard. So some of the comments that I got from friends, family, clients, and all walks of life was someone said I look like Lord Farquaad from Shrek. Another person said, well, like, when I slicked my hair back, they started calling me Prince Charming. I embraced it, and I was like, no, you're all wrong. Like, I am the queen of Karens, and I demand to speak to your manager. And of course, my husband decided to do a hard hit and tell me that I look like Little Nicky. And of course, I had to respond with, like, yes, I do. Because to honor Adam Sandler, we have to do that. But overall, I just kind of learned to let it roll off my back and have a little bit of fun with it. And that's what this is. Like, you didn't get what you wanted, you can at least try to enjoy it to some extent. And I found joy in making people laugh and being called Dora the Explorer for a hot minute there. And yeah, so that was my way of waiting out my grow out period of just embracing all the different characters that I embodied for a hot minute there. And honestly, your hair will grow back. It does suck, and if you do your grow out plan with a different stylist, that's fine too. The best thing is for you to focus on what makes you feel comfortable in your own individual journey. Like I said, these things that worked for me might not work for you, and you might need some affirmations and positive messages that you stick up when you wake up or when you walk by a mirror, whatever it is for you. Pay attention to what specifically feels right and feels aligned with what your needs are through this whole process. And I guarantee you that if you do that, you're still not going to feel 100%, but you'll feel a lot better than just kind of going through your day blindly and not having anything. So in closing, if you're sitting there with a bad haircut right now, I know it sucks. You're definitely not alone. It's going to come back. Just trust the process. If you need to cry, go and take your time. Go and take your space. It's just one of those things that it's going to sting more on day 1 and day 2 than it will on month 7 and 8. So just give it time. View it as a growing experience, fucking metaphorically and literally. Focus on the life lessons that you're getting from this unfortunate situation. Try to find that purpose through the pains, if you will. Your hair will grow, and you will through this process too. I definitely think it made me a better person having a terrible haircut. I couldn't tell you that in the moment, but I can tell you that, like, almost a year later. Like, it's coming for you. Like, the reflection period of, like, I will not be doing that again. So as we come to a close, I want you, if you have experienced your own bad haircut, drop in the chat what made you feel better. Share your funny experiences. This is how we all learn and grow, and what you say might be something that someone else needs to hear to help support them through a really hard day. So let's inspire more of these conversations, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. You guys take care and have a nice day.